In a historic meeting that underscored the enduring friendship and strategic partnership between Russia and North Korea, President Vladimir Putin and North Korean leader Kim Jong Un convened in Pyongyang for a summit that highlighted their shared commitment to countering what they perceive as aggressive Western policies. Putin, in his first visit to North Korea in 24 years, hailed the strong bond and close neighborly relations between the two nations, emphasizing their joint efforts to counter what he described as imperialist, hegemonistic policies by the United States and its allies against Russia.
We highly appreciate your consistent and unchanging support of the Russian policies, including in the Ukrainian direction, meaning our fight against the imperialist hegemonistic policies of the U.S. and its satellites against the Russian Federation.
This sentiment resonated deeply with Kim Jong Un, who reciprocated Putin's remarks, highlighting the mutual respect and understanding that define the Russo-North Korean relationship.
The relationship between our two countries is at the highest point, even incomparable to relations between the DPRK and Soviet Union. And I think the Comrade President's visit to Pyongyang will provide an opportunity to solidify the foundation of the fiery friendship between our people.
Central to the summit was the announcement of plans to sign an agreement aimed at bolstering economic and military cooperation. This agreement is expected to significantly enhance bilateral trade, facilitate technology transfers, and deepen military ties, including joint military exercises and intelligence sharing, which are crucial for maintaining regional stability. Despite criticism from some quarters regarding a potential arms arrangement between the two nations, with concerns raised about North Korea's nuclear weapons program, both leaders emphasized the importance of their partnership in ensuring regional security and stability.
The government of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea appreciates the role and mission the powerful Russian Federation serves in maintaining the world's strategic stability and balance, and express our full support for the Russian government's special military operation in Ukraine to protect its sovereignty, interests, and the stability of its territory. Russia and North Korea have been linked by strong friendship and close neighborly relations for many decades. Interaction between our countries is based on the principles of equality and mutual respect for each other's interests.
Putin's visit to North Korea comes at a time when both countries are facing economic sanctions imposed by the West, with North Korea also contending with UN Security Council sanctions. The summit is seen as a bold move by Russia to strengthen its ties with North Korea in the face of increasing pressure from the West. Top NATO and US officials have viewed Putin's visit with skepticism, calling it a sign of desperation. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken suggested that Russia is seeking to forge alliances with countries that can support its actions in Ukraine.
With regard to Mr. Putin and his travels to North Korea, look, we've seen, as you've said, Russia try in desperation to develop and to strengthen relations with countries that can provide it with what it needs to continue the war of aggression that it started against Ukraine. And you heard the Secretary General just reference this. North Korea is providing significant munitions to Russia and other weapons for use in Ukraine. Iran has been providing weaponry, including drones, that have been used against civilians and civilian infrastructure. And as I've mentioned a moment ago, the deep concerns we have about China, not in terms of providing weapons, but in providing what Russia needs to keep its defense industrial base going and to produce itself more tanks, more munitions, more missiles. Yes, these are the countries of concern. And with regard to China in particular, as I've said before, it can't, on the one hand, say that it wants better relations with countries in Europe, while at the same time fueling the biggest security threat to Europe as a whole since the end of the Cold War.
Similarly, NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg highlighted the alignment between Russia and authoritarian states like North Korea, China, and Iran.
Putin's visits to North Korea demonstrates and confirms the very close alignment between Russia and authoritarian states like North Korea, but also China and Iran. And this also demonstrates that our security is not regional, it's global. What happens in Europe matters for Asia, and what happens in Asia matters for us. And this is clearly demonstrated in Ukraine, where Iran, North Korea, China are propping up, fueling Russia's war of aggression against Ukraine.
Earlier, Putin was greeted with an official welcoming ceremony at Pyongyang's main square on June 19th, setting the stage for his highly anticipated summit talks with North Korean leader Kim Jong Un. The North Korean state media hailed the meeting as a historic event, highlighting the invincibility and durability of the friendship and unity between the two nations. Putin's arrival in Pyongyang was met with high anticipation, especially after his recent remarks expressing the desire for close cooperation to overcome the US-led sanctions imposed on both countries.